Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In the last video, we saw how to create a user account using the signup API. Now we are gonna create another API for logging in the users. So basically, how do you log in? So the basic criteria is email and password combination should be correct, that everybody knows. But let us say there are two pages in my website which should be accessible only via the logged in users, right? Like let us say if you are Facebook and you want to access the friend requests and notifications, so these two tags will be on these two tabs will only be accessible to you when you are logged in, correct? So how does Facebook know that you are logged in? So there is something called as session variables. So I'll just start ahead with a PHP session variables. So what is session variable? A session variable can be anything like some value which is accessible via the dollar underscore session super global variable. Okay, so this is the global variable and you can store some things in it. So basically what we have to do is whenever a user will try to log in, we will start a session. Session basically means it will take the client ID, that is the client whichever like I am using, let us say Facebook. So Facebook will be the server and my device will be the client. So what Facebook server will do is it will take some cookies and it will store into my PC or my device. Then the next time after, let's say I try the home page first and then I go to notifications tab. So whenever I will request for the notifications page, what my device will do is while sending that request, my device will also send some cookies along with the request, meaning now the server will verify whether this request has some cookies or not, and if those cookies are present, it will say that okay, this is the same session, so I need to give whatever data that is requested. So easy enough. It is just some kind of way of proving of storing some value that is unique to the client server connection. PHP session variables are stored in a file somewhere in the PHP's configuration location. Somewhere these files will be stored which will contain the session data. Now, how do we start a session? So basically there are PHP's various methods like session starts to start the session, session abort, and destruct, such methods in order to delete the session. By default, if you start a session and if you don't delete it, it will last for 24 minutes. Although you can change this value in the settings. So let us go ahead and see what our login page looks like. So this is our student login. I'll go ahead and I'll open database as well so that we can see if I have an account. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll go here and I'll go to my login.html page. Now this is my student login and there are like no API written in order to, have that authentication and all. So what we will do is we will go to signup.html and we will simply copy everything from here, because we need to do the same thing. We need to call some we need to trigger an event whenever the submit button is clicked, and we need to call the API to make sure that the account details are correct. So here I come and I paste this. Now, so first thing that we need to change in this is basically the form ID. So create student account, it should be like student login. And what I'll do is I'll copy this ID and I'll give this ID to the form. So basically this is the form that is gonna be submitted whenever the student tries to log in. So here we have it. So whenever student login form will be submitted, we need the values. So input email is there and input password is there. So we will take those student email and student password and we will call an API. So API call will be Ajax API student. So this will be student login.php. Now there is no such file, so we'll go ahead and we'll create a file, or what we can do is we can basically copy and paste this file and then we can edit this. So I'll just say this is my student login.php, which will be the API that will authenticate our users. So name and password will be the data. Now if everything is true, we will display the response and everything else just stays the same. We also need this sign up thing which is there. like where we display the error messages, above the sign up and login button. So here I paste. Cool. So now instead of sign up help, I will search for sign up help and I'll request all instances of it with login help. Cool. Now that we have this and cool, so everything is working just fine, and we need to send that user to index.html. Cool. Now what we have to do is we have to go to student login, and instead of, so this request again should be a post request, so nothing changes with that. So I'll change the class name to student login, which will again extend the API, and I'll create student login, and I can say the student login attempt. So this object will be created every time this API is called. So this will be an attempt, and instead of create account, the function that we want to have is actually authenticate. We just want to authenticate the user, so we'll have this authenticate function instead of create account. Cool. The next thing we need to do is required fields. So now name is no longer required, we just need student name and password. We don't need the name. Again, while constructing, okay, so this is fine, we just need to validate the post method. So till now things are pretty much the same. From here we start changing things. So basically what we do is we filter the email for like we make sure that email, the field is submitted is an email. Then what we do is we actually begin a transaction. The next thing, check if there is already an account created using the given email. So if account is equal to false, the account does not exist. So we can write here that response payload is equal to array, and what we can write, status is false, entity would be error, and the message will be what? Since we have no email ID registered, that means we don't have any email. So that would mean the account is not created using this email. So we'll say that no account found. So this will be our message, and we'll have to send the response from here. So for that I'll do this send response, and I'll pass the response payload. Fair enough. So let me just go ahead, and so we are here until now. So if check account, if account is null, so otherwise if account is present, we'll have to select the student password, which will basically be the hash. So select student password from student account where email is the given email, and if false we return this else. So I'll say else student has account. We now need to verify the password. Now we need to verify the password. So let me just go ahead and delete this data which we don't need anymore. Sorry, this code which we don't need, and okay, so this is the else block and this is our try catch block. Cool. So now what we have did, so now we need to verify the password. So basically password will be there in request payload, and the key will be student password. Now we need to use the PHP's password verify function to check whether the password is correct or not. So I'll say verify password will be a boolean which will be returned by password verify. Now we need to send the user's password, so which will be there in this response payload, and student password. and we need to make sure the hash is provided. So hash will be coming from database, which will be there in check account. So which would be check account 0, and it will be student password. Cool. So now if this password is validated, we'll say, so let us just create a dummy variable here, which would mean this response payload is equal to array, and we'll say verified, we'll say status is true, we'll say entity is success, and we'll say the message is verified. Cool. Otherwise, what we are gonna say, so instead of verified, what we will do, we will pass this to verify password, whether to see like if it is verified or not. So here we go. So now we have an API which will simply return true or false in the message field if the login attempt is satisfied. So I'll just refresh this page. I'll say this was my email and 1234 was my password. So unknown error occurred. Our API isn't working. And why is that so? So let us go ahead and start searching. Okay. What I actually did was I wrote response payload here. That is why it wasn't working. So I changed it to request payload and I'm verifying it against the check account student password. Now